Let me tell you something, folks. Tonight we're talking about what you're doing right now watching television and how TV is feeling big pressure from some very small little groups. In America, we have a system of television that's supported by advertisers, all right? That keeps the government out, unlike Great Britain, which has the BBC, of course, now, which the government controls all the way. But the advertisers in this country control the future of TV. Now, are the advertisers going to support program diversity in an area where television expands from 3 channels, which it was, to the over 60 that we have now and 100 as a result of cable? Has TV expanded from 3 networks to 60-plus channels only to see that the advertisers say, oh, to hell with it? We don't want to get involved in anything that might be controversial. What a wimpy way to make a decision. Are advertisers going to support shows that inform and educate our population at a time when teenagers in this country don't even want to read the newspapers and don't care about network news or any other news? Or are the advertisers in this country only going for the bland, blah, unimaginative type of programming? We all know what that is. You buy the products. You should make the decisions. So I want you tonight to have a pencil and a paper ready, because I'm going to give you the information on how your voice can be heard, how you can get to that advertiser and let that advertiser know you're the person who buys the product, not some housewife in Michigan, and not so-called monitor down in Tupelo, Mississippi, all right? Stay tuned. Your turn to kick tail. Let's go. All right. Now, let me introduce our first guest, a gentleman that most of you are familiar with. He has been involved in running a great decency movement in this country. He calls it decency. Some people call it a little bit of censorship. I'd like to introduce, please, the Reverend Donald Wildman, sitting in this chair. He was invited 5 different times by our executive producer to be on the show, and 5 different times he who decides what the hell we'll watch, all right? What we'll watch. And who intimidates advertisers in this country, of which about 35% of the money spent is by foreign advertisers. He intimidates them into not buying time on television shows. Saturday Night Live, we're all familiar with that show. Married with Children, and a number of other shows. This gentleman and his few little minions of decency decided not to allow advertising. So, nice to see you, Doc, huh? How are you? All right, that is the Reverend. We also introduce Jamie Raskin, who's an attorney. Jamie, nice to have you with us tonight. We have Dr. William Mara with us at loudmouth number 1. Dr. Mara and Professor Mitchell Stevens from Fordham University. Professor, how are you, sir?
How are you?
Let me start with Dr. Mara. As most everyone in our country, I guess, knows, Doctor, there's been a major reaction from pressure groups against TV advertising to remove advertising from programs which they feel is morally wrong. Dr. Mara, why do you support those actions?
Because if there's junk TV, and I think that covers most of the programs,
And who decides
it has no
that?
right to exist. And why cannot we tell people, why support junk TV? It's that simple.
But who decides that, Doctor?
I mean, I'm tired of this epistemological skepticism.
Well, we're delighted with your language, sir. We're delighted with the epistemological. Epistemological? I thought you were talking about a urinary tract.
Mort, the way you act, truth and art is on the line, and if this terrible reverend who's absent here should ever prevail, all these great Shakespeares are going to be reduced to mediocrity.
But, sir,
the trouble is
in his time, it was people like you who wished to reduce Shakespeare to mediocrity. Oh, let me hear. You can get a loud mouth. Let the man talk. Go ahead.
The thing is, TV has nothing to do with truth or art. It has to do with selling soap. And if we don't like the stuff they're serving up, we don't buy their soap too.
Right.
That's the art.
Right.
No,
Okay.
no big problem.
But you're not saying that something should be just thrown off because you personally disagree with it.
I don't know. Should I say because Ayatollah personally disagrees with it?
Oh, you're right.
I'm a
Okay.
critic, and
Yeah.
I have the right to rally people on my side and say, look at this junk over here. Are we so stupid that we not only tolerate the junk coming over, but we're going to subsidize it by buying their product? So we're going to spook the commercial.
But we also know that had the critics in the 1960s prevailed, we would have lost All in the Family, all right? Archie Bunker Show.
That would have been a tremendous loss
Well,
to
but there's
art
a,
and prosperity.
but you know what it
I
did?
know. It's the equivalent
Professor,
of
you know as
Shakespeare.
well as I do. You know as well as I do that became so tongue-in-cheek that people could laugh at bigots and racists. They could laugh at it. They knew that it was wrong through the comedy. I mean, the guy who presented that show, Norman Lear, is anything less than a right-winger.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Mort, there is a certain tone to so much on TV. I'll confess, I owned my first set 2 years ago. I used to pick up junk from the street, and my son would repair it up to a point. And I'm sorry, now I own a TV set. I think it's a waste of my time and everything.
You ever watch TV shows?
Once in a while, football mostly. That's honorable.
Well, your football shows, you watch the same damn thing every time, man. Same thing, it's just the score is different. You know that. Let me go to Jamie Raskin. Jamie, at a time when TV programs have expanded from just 3 networks to over 60 channels now, it'll be up to 100 very shortly. There are dozens of alternatives for people to watch. How do you feel about the pressure tactics that are being used, for instance, by the good reverend who did not have his sheep's clothing with him to attend tonight?
I think these tactics are outrageous, and they're in the worst tradition of censorship in this country. You know, these same church ladies back, when Ed Sullivan wanted Elvis to be on TV, said that they could only show Elvis from the waist up. And they said that I Love Lucy couldn't be on TV because she was pregnant when she first started. So, you know, their positions change over time, but basically they're into one thing, which is censorship.
But they should have the right to disagree with what we're doing.
They absolutely, nobody's trying to deny them their right to disagree, but you've owned a television for 2 years, and now you want to tell 240 million Americans what they can watch.
I want to defend the principle that if there's junk being shown, I have a right to tell my friends.
No, you have a right
not
to turn it off,
see
buddy. That's what you have a right to do. Look, you know, these moral majority types would rather have thought control than use their remote control.
Well, let me ask the good doctor. Doctor, do you want advertisers on shows to only support the shows that are safe, the ones that you know the word damn is never going to be said, or hell, or any of those things? Huh?
No, but that's the wrong. If my view prevails, we'll simply get the big money backing up these outrageous shows. And as you yourself said, technology has allowed us all these new channels, so the brave, artistic, creative people will have their own sewer.
Okay, Mort.
The artistic people, yeah.
He's not telling you the truth. Reverend Wildman was too chicken to show up tonight, but I brought a copy of his newsletter. You want to hear the shows that he wants off TV? Murder, She Wrote. I mean, that's like watching paint dry. You know? Knots Landing. Moonlighting has wicked message. Moonlighting, that's a great show. That's one of the best shows on TV.
Don't give me an analysis of the show. Tell me some of the things he wants off.
Well,
Let me tell you that the good Reverend, all right, and we've had reverends like this for years, thank you, Lord. We've had Jimmy Jones, and we've had the Bakers, and we've had, of course, Swaggart. We've had all that. I don't compare the good Reverend with any of those people. But he did bring in $3.2 million into his organization last year. He did just buy 60 acres of land for $400,000, which he put down $319,000 in cash. The man doesn't seem to be suffering by attacking. He sends out a magazine to 180,000 people on his regular subscriber list.
Listen, he's not using the force of law.
Crisis. He's using this force. He needs a crisis every month, doctor, if he's to keep money coming into his organization to support his little hype. And that's
so
all it is.
You need a fight every week, otherwise
no,
you'd be
you kidding? If I needed a fight, I'd get someone who's bigger. Yeah. Hey, let me tell you something right now, all right? According to my New York Times, some of the most powerful advertisers have pulled out of shows because of special interest pressure. You've heard some of it, all right? The gentleman who's not here, the lady in Michigan. Tonight, we'll tell you how to get in touch with some of those companies. So if you're one of those Americans who doesn't want to preach from a preacher in Mississippi or a housewife in Michigan who's dictating to you what you can watch, why not write to those companies that have pulled their commercials and also let those companies know that you won't buy their product if they don't go back on those shows. Now, they got upset from 60 or 600 letters. Let them get 60,000 from you, baby, and they'll really be upset.
Okay, so write to the Coca-Cola Company, post office number 1734. That's in Atlanta, Georgia, 30301. And that's the name of the chairman of the board. Why not write to him? Also, Tam Brand, 1 Marcus Avenue, Lake Success, New York, 11042. The chairman of the board is Martin Emmett.
Don't be alone. Call the Love Line. Dial 1-900-909-2424. You'll be connected with up to 10 friendly people who want to meet you. Don't be shy. Call now and listen in. Dial 1-900-909-2424. Thousands of satisfied singles have already discovered the Love Line. Join the fun. Dial 1-900-909-2424. Call now. Just $2 the first minute, 45 cents each additional.
Cheryl Liston is an ex-Tums user.
Tums taste like chalk.
Now she uses Tempo.
Tempo is a soft, chewable tablet that leaves a nice taste in my mouth. Tempo gives me fast relief, and I like that.
Great tasting Tempo, a better way to get antacid relief.
I lost 7 pounds in 1 week. 7 pounds.
The Ultra Slim Fast Pledge. Give us a week, we'll take off the weight. Low-calorie Ultra Slim Fast tastes great.
Losing 4 pounds in 1 week was easy.
Give us a week, we'll take off the weight.
Frost, mud on my favorite jeans. I wear them so much, they're hard to keep clean. Messy cookie stains, well. Mama lifts them out with A-L-L. Liquid All's a stain lifter. Pour it out and you'll see. All's got the power to make stains history. Every time stains on my favorite jeans fall, Mama lifts them out with A-L-L. That's all. The stain lifter, that's all.
Thank you. Let's play future. The category is risk. If you do drugs, you could die. The question is, what will you miss for the next 40 years? I'm sorry, your time is up. The answer is good friends, good job, good life, good food, good music, and 14,600 sunsets. Do you want to take the risk?
Wile E. Coyote is up to his old tricks, trying to catch that roadrunner. Looks like he's been using the Donnelly Directory. It has every listing you'll ever need. And the Donnelly Directory has valuable coupons so it can save you a ton of money. Oh, no! Won't he ever learn? Good thing he has his Donnelly Directory with coupons worth hundreds of dollars. The Donnelly Directory can really save you. It's the Yellow Pages and much, much more.
Let me give you an explanation for the shades first, all right? I still got that lousy eye infection, I guess, probably from watching some of the shows that Dr. Wildman likes. Let me go back to Professor Stevens, who I ignored in the last segment. I didn't mean to do that, Professor, from NYU. Are the kind of people who are organized to form these boycotts and these pressure groups really representative of those who are watching television these days?
Obviously they're not, because some of the programs they're most annoyed about, like Married with Children, are programs that get pretty decent ratings. The thing that bothers me, and that bothers me also about the response you're suggesting, is the idea that advertising agencies should be, in any sense, the ones that determine what we watch, that what we watch is going to be determined by letter-writing campaigns from his side and from your side, and let advertising agencies, the president of Coca-Cola, somebody make the decision. I think that there's too much control of the media in general by large corporations.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, but how do you overcome when the battle has been started? I mean, do you stand by and let it go, or do you toss a couple of grenades of your own and drop them in the room?
No,
I mean, here you are in a situation, Professor, where you've got 60, 600, however many people the good Reverend has writing in every once in a while, really terrifying chief executive officers of companies who respond immediately. It's just like the Congress of the United States. You send them 2 letters, they pay no attention. You get them 400 letters, and you'd think the entire district had written them, all right? They really move. And the same thing happens with these advertising agencies where you've got some poor guy or woman who's doing the buying and is getting paid $35,000 a year, and they don't want to take a chance on losing their $35,000 job, so they're not going to make a decision that could make them $90,000 or lose the $35,000. They're going to opt to keep the $35,000.
Well, I think the sad thing, unfortunately, is the chilling effect. All the programs we're not seeing because advertising agencies and the corporations that buy the advertising are afraid of controversy, and therefore the people who produce television shows are afraid of controversy. I wonder actually whether a show like this would get on the air if it was from the other side of the political spectrum, which actually makes advertisers a little bit more nervous sometimes.
You mean the liberal side?
Yeah.
Although if people analyze this, I've had some of the great liberals come forward and say, hey, realistically, this show is so down the line fair in letting the liberal express their point of view, even though they might get screamed down, they get to express the point of view, that there's no other show on television like it. But we're not talking about this show. We're talking about other shows that are getting their advertisers pulled. And I just don't know. I mean, if you're one of those Americans who doesn't want a preacher in Mississippi doing this to you, what are you going to do? How are you going to respond? You say, well, Liz, go ahead. I'm sorry. Let me introduce, please, Liz Capozzi. Well, no, Liz, that's easy to say. That's easy to say that the free enterprise system allows for it.
Right.
But you've got fortunately, you've got a lot of companies who say, yeah, man, I'll advertise on Saturday Night Live, GeoPet, you know, you pour water on it and grass grows out of it. Like, Bill and Molly Swenson's Window Factory.
They don't know what program their product is being associated with. So the public is calling their attention to the fact that this is what it is being associated with. We don't like it.
No. They know what their show is associated with.
That's not the understanding that I have.
Well,
they have the option then to withdraw if they care to. They are free to do that.
Yes.
There's nothing that compels them that they have to advertise for a given program.
No, absolutely not.
Well,
they
Liz,
shouldn't have to advertise.
They're going after a given market.
No, they shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to. But on the other side, when just a few people, all right, when some housewife up in Michigan.
Okay, so Pepsi is going to have Madonna do her blasphemous act, and you're
blasphemous by whose standards?
By my standards.
Okay,
by
yours.
Standards,
by
right?
yours.
Okay.
By yours, but maybe not by anyone else's in here.
No, but there is a percentage in this population that I do represent
But
that I am associated
what
with.
percentage is that?
And we have a right
16,
to
28,
express
32?
ourselves, and if Pepsi says that they want to back off, then they can back off. They're free to do
Hey,
that.
look,
Wait a minute.
But all I'm saying is if Pepsi wants to back off because of 16% of you, I should take 84% of me and say, hey, Pepsi, you want the 16% of business and their mouths are only big enough to hold 1 bottle a day? Or do you want the 84% of the business and my mouth can hold 12 bottles a day? That's what I'm saying.
I just want to ask
this gentleman just a second. I'm sorry, sir. Introduce yourself.
I'm Frank Russo. I'm vice president of the Greater New York chapter of the Catholic League.
Frank, please, go ahead.
You know, from my perspective, and again, this is a democracy, and I really would like to say some basic points. This country is facing a moral crisis from my perspective. The breakdown in the family today is evident to everybody.
Couldn't agree with you more.
The breakdown in the family, in turn, is causing the vast array of problems that we see in our country. The drug problem is highly correlated with the breakdown in the family.
No doubt about it.
Poverty. I mean, our national income, our per capita income is going up. The only reason, if I might finish my train of thought, the only reason we're seeing an increase in poverty is because the family's breaking down. And
I'm trying to get to advertising. I realize all these things.
The breakdown in the family is due to a breakdown in values. And the breakdown in values is highly correlated to what we're seeing in the media. The media is under the control of the left wing. The Stanley Rothman-Lichter survey has clearly demonstrated that the media is under the control of the far left wing.
But that's a 1980 media survey. I haven't seen anything updated.
In a democracy, the people have a right to vote with their money, and if people decide voluntarily to boycott certain products, they have every right to do it.
Why are we all so brilliant that we keep calling this place a democracy, folks? It's a republic. If it were a democracy, none of you'd be here. I'd be the king. All right? No democracy.
Mort, she talked about the Madonna commercial and how all the things did. Let's get that straight. The public was the judge there. The Madonna went on. Pepsi selected the talent, they selected the production, they bought it, they put it on the air. Guess what? It didn't sell product, so it went off the air. It went the course and the path it was supposed to be taken. Okay. You have a choice. If you don't like it, don't respond to it. If you don't like the TV show, don't watch it.
Well, a perfect
example. You just don't have to force
Liz, no, let me go to Liz. A perfect example, Liz.
Wait a minute, we're into
Liz,
cable.
a perfect example, Liz here, Liz. What about the television show? What about the television show Roe versus Wade?
What about
from
my
everything,
bill?
from every. I'll pay your bill. Listen. What about the show? What about the show?
You're not going to pay my bill.
Will you listen? Waste the time. Let me go over here.
Yeah, I think it's very important. I think it's very important to assess what we heard on the role of the family, values. We keep getting into this incredible bind in this country of looking for blame. You're not going to turn to the government. You're not going to turn to the corporate sector to become the parent. The parent is the one responsible. These gentlemen would like to blame a left-wing, right-wing contingency that simply doesn't exist. Look at China over the weekend. They are asking for what we've got. I think it's time to respect what we've got. And God save them is right. Don't forsake what we've got.
I'd like to ask
That's
the
the most
ladies
important point.
Jamie, go to Liz. Jamie and Liz.
I wonder, I'd like to know if there's anything on TV that you don't like that you think the rest of the people should be able to watch.
No, look, let me put it to you this way.
What do you like? What do you like?
One thing that I find offensive, because I am a mother, is MTV.
Yeah.
All right. Now, as a parent,
MTV.
As a parent.
Okay.
All right. As a parent, I simply don't want that because of the age of my
But look,
kids.
a lot of people find the Christian. Hold on. A lot of people find
So, okay.
Can I
like Phil Donahue?
All right. Let me finish. I can lock it out, right?
Okay.
Okay. I lock it out. But does that in any way affect the bill that I get from the cable company? No.
Well,
in other words, I still have to pay.
Hey. A lot of people get Christian Broadcasting Channel on cable and they don't like it. Okay? I think it's great that we've got Christian Broadcasting Channel. That's excellent.
Wait a second.
But we don't need 6 of them.
Wait a second. CBS, I'm not sure what station you're affiliated with, if any. CBS recently refused Cardinal Bernardin, who's the cardinal in Chicago, from going on radio with messages about Christian values. They actually denied Cardinal Bernardin the right to proclaim Christian truths.
Why shouldn't they deny it? Why shouldn't they? Why is he? Wait a second, I'm a Catholic.
To pay for advertisements.
Why am I a Catholic? Why is Cardinal Bernardin, all right, that's his name. Why is Cardinal Bernardin any more righteous in going on proclaiming Christian values than Liz is?
No, I'm not sure I understand your question.
Well, you say he wants free time.
Not free time. He was paying for it. He was paid for time. And he was denied the right to sponsor these advertisements proclaiming certain Christian truths. The liberals are a bunch of phonies. You folks won't permit cigarette advertising. You want to censor that because you feel there's a pollution effect on the lives of people. And I agree with that. But then when it comes to moral pollution, suddenly there's a different
Get ready,
issue
folks at home, all right? Get ready at home. Grab the pencil and the paper. I got another company for you to drive crazy. Take a look at a company that needs to hear your opinion. Write and tell them what you think, what your favorite shows are, and what you'd like to see them advertising on. Let's see if they abide by your wishes. Come on.
Why not send a letter to General Mills, Post Office Box 1113, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55426, and H.B. Atwater is the chairman of the board.
Ann Cullen is an ex-Rolaids user.
Rolaids is chalky.
Now she uses Tempo.
Tempo is smooth, Tempo is chewy, and Tempo it gives me quick relief. You wouldn't believe how fast I was relieved.
Great tasting Tempo, a better way to get antacid relief.
I lost 7 pounds in 1 week. 7 pounds.
The Ultra Slim Fast Pledge. Give us a week, we'll take off the weight. Low-calorie Ultra Slim Fast tastes great.
Losing 4 pounds in 1 week was easy.
Give us a week, we'll take off the weight.
Innovation.
From Lee.
The Natural Nail Care Collection. 6 multi-component kits designed by Lee to help repair, condition, shield, harden, moisten, restore, reinforce, and beautify natural nails. From Lee, serious help for natural nails in 6 multi-component kits. Lee, the Natural Nail Care Collection.
This time, this place has done a lot for me. Kind of thing happens when the beauty of a place overwhelms you. Things seem different, more positive. I'll be going home in a few days. But I'll be back.
Come back to yourself.
To the man whose friendship knows no boundary. To men of dignity, courage, and valor. To everyday heroes everywhere. We offer our best. A beer smooth enough to be called a Miller.
Buy that man a Miller. Nothing but the best will do. Buy that man a Miller beer. The best comes shining through.
I'm on the road every day of the week, making over a dozen stops along my route, so I know the value of good brakes. I've got a lot of little lives depending on them. And when I'm out on the road with my family, our lives depend on good brakes. That's why I depend on Meineke.
At Meineke, we do brakes, and we do them right. We analyze the whole system, pinpoint the problem, and fix it, period.
No matter why you're on the road, you can depend on brakes from Meineke. I do.
Frank, let me go back to this gentleman. Jamie, just one question. What we've been talking about realistically, it sounds to me like a lot of video book burning. Huh?
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to get the church ladies over here to talk about specific shows they don't like. But the ones they've tried to get off the air are Knots Landing, Kate and Alley, Moonlighting. I'd like them to respond to that. These are the shows that the people
I
want.
talked about MTV, which I consider to be softcore porn, and I consider softcore porn...
Wait a second. She has. Listen, she has a right.
And I consider softcore porn as step number 1 that will lead you into hardcore porn, which
perhaps
is sexual
even
violence.
the Al Goldstein show on
you
Channel
watch
J,
it.
right?
I don't, baby.
Yeah.
Have you
Okay.
worked against getting that off?
I'm not watching
Yes.
it.
Have you worked against getting Goldstein off?
Yes.
Haven't been very successful.
I know that. I know.
So
I also know that there are 3 vacancies on the FCC, which would be a big help if the president would appoint the right people, so that we could deal with these people who are using.
Look, we don't want
cable
the moral
to
majority running this
corrupt
country.
kids.
That's not what the American people want.
Look, can I ask you a question? Hi, my name's Frank Dikopoulos. I play Frank Cooper on The Guiding Light.
Well,
Do you want? I just like to ask you a simple question. All right, what is your personal philosophy about soap operas, just in general?
I don't watch them.
Is there a particular reason why, or?
I find other things more interesting. In other words, I now have cable, so I've gone from the networks over to the other channels. It isn't that I don't watch television; I do watch television. And the Discovery Channel I find quite interesting. I find Channel 3 with its broadcast from Washington very interesting. I find CNN
I still have Romper
with
Room
news. But pornography as it's coming through and into the home presents a problem. I'm talking softcore pornography, and I'm talking it comes in stages.
But when you
That's
got the
what
hardcore stuff that you got on Channel J on your cable now, you say you've worked. Why don't you spend some time getting that off? I mean, here's Goldstein putting all kinds of little extensions of the human body through things.
Okay, I'm opposed to that, and I would like to get rid of him,
But
too, and I think we have a
what's
legitimate
softcore
right
porn?
to do that.
What's softcore porn? Because someone wears a low-cut dress on
Wait,
MTV.
Morton, how about this one?
Yeah.
I find myself taking my shirt off on Guiding Light and the soap. I know. Sorry. And what's another Friday night, Morton, right? Anyway, I do like a lot of hot tub scenes, scenes that involve suggestive material. Now, would you consider that soft porn? Now, for instance, Guiding Light started on the radio in 1937 and hit TV in 1952.
Because you're talking about a visual medium now. Before
Wait a minute,
you were
it started on
talking
TV
about
in
audio.
1952, and we're still on the air in 1989.
Still in all, the standards have changed and the standards have deteriorated. That's the point.
So,
That's the
if
point.
standards have changed, they've changed in a broad community way. Are we saying now that we return them to those narrow confines of Lucy and Desi sleeping in separate beds?
I think that what you're talking about here is that segment of the population that wishes to express itself and to say that we simply will not support and we will take away our dollars. And
well, I
if you
think
don't
you have
like
every
that,
right to do that.
Okay. Well, then what else is the point?
I think you have every right to that. You who didn't have the brains to know where to find the television until 2 years ago. I mean, what are you going to tell me? Whoa. Let's take a look. Let's take a look for a second at a prestigious gathering of television and news people and watch what happens when proceedings, Professor, get a little heated. May I see that? These are some so-called intelligent people.
I've done good. I've done good. We don't talk about that. Wait. I'm still saying. I consider myself
Rivera. Do good.
I consider myself a normal, ordinary.
Don Hewitt. Do good.
We stumbled into something. We didn't even know what the hell we were doing. Friendly tried to keep us off the air. He thought it was a lousy idea. But we did it, and we made a lot of money. And then ABC saw the money we made. No, that's not why we did it. But it turns out we did make a lot of money. And then 2020 said, hey, look at all the money these guys made.
2020 has done good.
That's right. They've made a lot of money. He's in the business of making money.
They've done well, and they've done good.
And he's in the business of making money, and I'm in the business of making money.
Mr. Hubbard.
This democratizing America is baloney. It's to make money for the company you work for. Stop it. Get out of here.
Now, these are the so-called geniuses, all right? You folks turn to the Fred W. Friendlies, all these kind of people. They're arguing worse than they do on the Morton Downey Jr. show.
They only had one woman on that show, too.
Pardon me?
They only had one woman on that show, too.
That's right.
Okay, what's your point? So what, Mort? So what? So they're arguing.
The point that I'm making is the biggest criticism of this show is that you and I might argue and someone else might throw their 2 cents worth in and someone says, well, I didn't understand what was going on. On this show?
It's your language that I wouldn't want my kids to be using.
My language? What language do I use on the show?
Well, I'm not going to repeat the language that I don't
Name the
want
letters
them to
that they
use.
start
No,
with.
I will not, Mort. I will not do that, Morton. No.
Wait a minute.
Slime ball, sleaze bucket.
I don't want them to talk like that.
But I don't use the words like some. I never say back. I never use the word. And I have never said. All right, those are all words I never.
You know what? I don't think anybody in the studio audience. I don't think anybody in the studio audience would object to what you're doing. I think everyone is entitled to their own personal opinion, and if you don't particularly like something or don't believe in it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you going around and spreading that particular word.
And she should write a letter also.
Okay, what we're fighting about? What are we fighting
We're
about?
not, wait a minute, we're creating issues, we're discussing topics, we're allowing people to make their own personal judgments. So what you do for a child, you have to show a child A, B, C, or D. Then that child, as they grow up, will choose those particular categories according to the way they've been brought up. I think that's basic.
And would you say the same about drugs? In other words, we put all sorts of
drugs are illegal, but
that are now
not
controlled.
illegal. Yes.
Wait a minute.
What about drugs?
Staple it.
What are you saying about drugs?
We have why don't you say, let the government control no substances, and then let the child know about this and this and this and this, and let him grow up in his value system?
My father did. I come from a strict Greek Orthodox background, okay? And I'm very proud of that. And I'm a very religious person. And when I was growing up, my father sat all the children down around the table, and he said, okay, this is a bottle of wine. He gave us each a glass. Now, I had a little sister that maybe at that particular time was 5 years old or maybe 10 years old. I can't remember the exact ages, but we were young. Yes. As a matter of fact, we say prayer before every single dinner.
Okay, so what?
But do you do that on the television program? Do you do that on the soap opera?
Okay, well,
if we sit down before table, wait a minute, let's get back to this particular. Okay, I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Yes.
My father introduced. He said, "This is alcohol. You want to know what it tastes like? Here it is, right here." We all had a sip of glass. There was no more mystery. There was no garbage. It was not something kept from us. We didn't have to sneak in any kind of liquor cabinet.
Did he do the same with LSD? Did he do the same with fornication?
Hold on, wait a minute. What he was trying to tell me, wait a minute, hold on, wait. That's a good point. That's a good point.
But the difference is LSD wasn't legal, alcohol was. The difference is LSD wasn't legal, alcohol was.
We have an attorney here that'll...
Okay, look, sir,
We don't have any attorney. We're just us.
No, no, well,
Yeah, I know you're just you. Nobody else could be you.
Don't have it.
Look, let me make a point. The Amish people don't like most of what's on TV.
I want to understand your position on economic boycotts in general. Cesar Chavez has
Frank.
I'm Frank. Is he Frank also? Frank. Cesar Chavez has implemented boycotts on lettuce because he feels that the migrant workers are being unfairly treated. He has used the economic boycott. The civil rights people have used economic boycott. The civil rights people have used economic boycott.
The difference is those people are fighting for their constitutional rights, and you're trying to take other people's constitutional rights away.
It's as American as apple pie. All we're saying here is, you made a comment about soap operas. I personally view the I have not watched many, I'll be honest with you, but from what I gather, really, they're presenting a lot of suggestive things. I think a lot of people like them. I know significant numbers of people like them, but they are harming American values by showing everybody in bed with everybody else. Every day you got to find out who's in bed with who. And all I'm saying is that people should have a right to express themselves in a democracy, in a constitutional republic, by use of their purchasing power. And if they decide not to support those sponsors who are providing these suggestive erotic scenes into our homes.
You know what? Everybody has the right to do whatever they want to do, correct?
Yeah.
Everybody has the right to do whatever
Tell you
they
what,
want to do.
got your pencil and paper ready, huh? Why not give these advertisers a real sense about who is switching some of the shows, who is watching some of the shows that we're talking about. Here's another company for you to contact right now. Do it.
Right to Domino's World Headquarters, Post Office Box 997, Ann Arbor, Michigan, 48106.
Recently, when I became deathly ill, I was able to summon an ambulance, my next-door neighbor, my family, and my doctor without picking up a telephone. I used this remote control to contact Life Call, my 24-hour emergency medical response service. Watch. You just press this button and speak into the air and...
I'm having chest pain.
I'm calling paramedics and your family, Mr. Miller.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
We're sending help immediately, Mrs. Fletcher.
See? Protect yourself with Life Call, and you're never alone. To get complete free information by mail about this affordable medical emergency response system, call toll-free now. Life Call can save your life, so call to get free details by mail right away.
For free information about Life Call, call 1-800-554-6300. That's 1-800-554-6300.
Bring the family out for an evening Old West style and experience the excitement of rodeo. Cowtown Rodeo, just an hour's drive away in Woodstown, New Jersey. 7 thrilling events include bronco and bull riding, steer wrestling, roping, and cowgirl barrel racing. See the best compete every Saturday at 7:30. Cowtown Rodeo, sanctioned by the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, located on Route 40, just minutes away from the Delaware Memorial Bridge and the Walt Whitman Bridges. Roping, riding, wrestling, stampede your way to Cowtown Rodeo. It's a genuine adventure.
Wait till you see it.
Wait till you see it.
Wait till you see it.
Wait till you see Sierra.
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 Wait till you see the XC, Oldsmobile's limited edition Cutlass Sierra. Wait till you see the sporty coupe, the sleek sedan, the all-new Euro-style cruiser. Wait till you see Cutlass Sierra, America's favorite Oldsmobile. Then you'll know why people who see a Sierra drive a Sierra. And now get 2.9% financing or $800 cash back from your Olds Connection dealer. But hurry, this offer expires June 5th.
In business, a lot can happen. If you want to keep up every week, you have a choice. Not Forbes, not Fortune. You can read Business Week, or you can read a week of the Wall Street Journal. Either way, you'll find out all you need to know. The question is, how much time are you willing to spend in the process? Business Week is designed for busy people. One look at the cover, and you'll know exactly where to turn inside. A quick scan of the contents page, and you'll have all the events of the week that interest you. Business Week does more than inform. It entertains, with stories that are compellingly told in both words and pictures. If you want to keep up with what's going on out there every week, all year long, there's more than one way to go about it. The choice is yours.
Business has never looked better in Business Week. And if you subscribe right now,
you can take advantage of a very attractive offer. 32 issues for the low basic rate of only $24.95. That's just 78 cents an issue. A savings of more than 60% off the $2 cover price. And along with your paid subscription, Business Week will send you one more valuable business tool. The Business Week Compact Office on the Go, free. It has all the essentials you need to work at home, on a plane, or just about anywhere. And remember, it's free with your paid subscription to Business Week. Here's how to subscribe.
Just call 1-800-662-2500 and we'll send you 32 issues of Business Week for only $24.95. This low basic rate saves you more than $39 off the cover price. The compact Office on the Go is free with your paid subscription. That number again is 1-800-662-2500. Call now.
Let's for the, and again, I beg your pardon for the shades, but I have an eye infection, so let me go first and introduce you to a gentleman from Los Angeles, all right? Mark, you are the executive producer of a show called Crime Time, the talk show. Now, I can imagine with a name like that, you're going to receive a world of grief from the special interest groups.
Crime Time, the talk show, is a spinoff of Crime Time, which I like to call the Ed Sullivan Show with felons. We have singing and dancing mobsters and felons.
Singing and dancing mobsters and felons, legitimate mobsters and felons?
Oh, yeah. We have Jimmy the Weasel Fradiano cooking lasagna. It's a variety show with felons.
I would think that show be able to sing pretty much on its own.
I don't think so.
Do you have some funny guys on there?
Yeah, we have Jimmy the Weasel Fradiano cooking lasagna. We have lifestyles of the poor and incarcerated.
Have you had difficulty with national sponsors?
Actually, I was talking to the Exxon Corporation, and they said it's not the type of show that they would like for their image, and that was 3 days before the Valdez ran into the reef.
3 days before the ship
Which is
spilled
an
the oil.
accident, but I think that what you're doing is saying crime pays, aren't you?
Not at all. These are people who are in prison and are out now.
Oh,
it's
so you're
better
saying that they paid their dues. All right, so are you misrepresenting these people? In
Not
other
at
words, that they've been punished for their crimes.
You have to be a convicted felon to be on our program.
So
but once you're out of...
No, it's more than that. No, because what you're not saying in your advertisement, because that's hype that pulls in some kind of an audience, is that these are people who have done their time. They have paid the penalty.
Right.
That's what is important, and that's the message that should get out, rather than saying, I've got a group of criminals on here, and this is your nighttime entertainment. I think that's you're just selling it in a way that I don't like.
Well, let's pull away for just a second. Let's pull away for just a second from the issue of pressure on issues on TV and pull away to pressure on entertainment television. Now, Frank Russo, right here. Oh, I'm sorry, Frank's up here with us still. In a 1950s poll, it indicated the teachers said the #1 problem in the classroom was gum chewing. Now the problem seems to be gun shooting. I mean, shouldn't television accurately reflect their problems in our society? I mean, gum chewing in the 50s, now some kid's got a gun and he's blowing a teacher's head off. What are we going to talk about?
I don't think the concern so much is with reflecting reality as it is just the reverse, to the extent that what you're seeing on TV is causing what's happening in society, and that's an interesting question. It's not clear, and I grant you that, but not so much the violence is one thing and the sex is the other. When you take young people today with their hormones running wild and they see some of the scenes...
What, all of a sudden,
come here, say something?
wait a second, all of a sudden when we were young, our little things didn't run wild too?
I'll tell you one thing. What we're seeing today with the rate of teenage pregnancy, the fact that we have
teenage pregnancy has risen ever since we got those wonderful people from Planned Parenthood in there.
Again, we're back to examples that if we can only step on the animal, we'll get rid of it. This is a new reality. You're not part of it. Teenage pregnancy, illiteracy, these are issues that you grew up with in a totally different generational framework. To get it at it today is through the media. That's what Roseanne is achieving. She is bringing values of how to love your kid and work and do all the right things to the media.
Andy, the values that they're presenting on television clearly are telling young people today that sex is inevitable. You're all going to have sex before marriage. take it for granted.
But what is your
and,
role
and
as a
therefore,
parent?
let's have what we call responsible sex.
But
television defines responsible sex as any sex which doesn't lead to pregnancy.
Frank, you're
or
watching
disease.
television.
And I'm saying there's a much more serious
your
problem.
role as a parent is to
which
sit
the
with those
deterioration
kids
of values
after
in
the show
America.
and explain
That
to them
deterioration
what they're
of values
going to
in
confront.
America is
It's
what's
your
causing this
values.
whole array of
Frank,
drug problems, poverty,
What
crime,
values?
and educational
Frank,
problems.
you're watching
We've
TV,
got to
you're
get our
watching
act
movies.
in order as a society.
But it's your
We've got to-
values.
No, I'm asking for society to talk about this. Let's
We
discuss
are.
it. Okay, Mort's doing a good job by discussing these things. So is Geraldo, so is Donahue. We've got to start discussing the basics. We're getting back to the days of Sodom and Gomorrah and the Roman Empire.
But see, that's where you're wrong. We're not getting back to it. We're living in today.
We present homosexual activity on TV as the right way to... I mean, this is a legitimate
Frank,
alternative
you keep
lifestyle.
saying television, right? You know what television is? Television is actors portraying characters. Do you know what acting is? Acting is a recreation of human life. That's all it is. When I go on a soap opera... Wait a minute. In defense, because you have a valuable argument to a certain extent, but I would like to support acting in that in the realm that we are recreating human life. I am only speaking the written word. And what is that written word? It's what you read in newspapers every single day. When you turn on the news and watch the television news stations and reports and everything, that's what's going on. So you're objecting to that.
This isn't so new. It's been around
You're
for a
just
while.
objecting to life.
Let's take a break for just a second, all right? Advertising controls television, and you control advertising. Here's another company that pulled out under pressure. Make sure your views are heard by them. Come on.
Why not get off a letter to Ralston Farina, Checkerboard Square, St. Louis, Missouri, 63164. William Stiverts is the chairman of the board.
Ever get into a little mischief?
She said yes?
Yes. Up in the morning and out to school.
I've got to see it.
Tonight? The teacher is teaching the golden rule.
Girls don't put out the Studebakers.
American history of practical man.
I shouldn't let you.
You should.
Study him hard, hoping to pass.
I enjoyed that.
Working your fingers right down to the bone.
It's cool. No problem.
There's no time like the first time. Mischief, Sunday at 4 on PHM 17.
Homeowners, if you need cash fast, call Advanta Mortgage now and get the Fast 5 advantage. Fast 5 minutes on the phone can get you preliminary loan approval for $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 or more, even if you've been turned down for a loan before. A fast 5 days and you could have cash in hand. Call now. Find out how fast you can convert the investment you have in your home into cash with an Advanta Mortgage home equity loan. Takes just minutes to get the facts on Advanta's low fixed rates. Just minutes to complete your application, get preliminary approval. What's more, the interest on your Advanta home equity loan may be deducted on your federal tax return. Yes, when you need cash on the double, you need the Fast 5 advantage.
Homeowners, to qualify fast for a home equity loan, call Advanta toll-free at 1-800-243-1990. That's 1-800-243-1990. Advanta Mortgage USA, a division of Colonial National Bank USA. That's 1-800-243-1990.
Water your lawn and garden and have a great time doing it. Take the rain and the sun, you know it feels so good. Suncast, you did it like I knew you could.
Far be it from me to say I am opposed to anyone doing a boycott, all right? I'm all in favor of it because there's something I want to boycott. I damn well want that right, the same as Liz and anyone else wants their right. But, Professor, here we've been. You and I started talking at the beginning of the show, and you said, well, it's wrong for me to fight the letter-writing campaign with my own letter-writing campaign. And yet here we've gone through 45 minutes. We really haven't come up with a solution other than if they've got 600, I got to move 6,000 troops out. They move 6,000, I got to move 60. They move 60, I got to move 600. And it's an escalating situation that solves the problem perhaps for one season, but doesn't get rid of any of the symptoms. Any thoughts?
Well, what I would like to see, and this is no magic solution, I hardly think this is going to happen overnight, is more sensitivity by your viewers and by other people in this country to who is making these decisions, to the extent that advertisers do have control over television. The large corporations that pay for the advertising do have control over television. not just commercial television, but public television.
And you know what's scary about that? At this point in our country, we have perhaps 30% of our advertising dollars is spent by Japanese automobile manufacturers, electronic manufacturers, etc. So they, in a sense, have the ability to be able to censor through an economic boycott of their own, by boycotting the shows, a certain amount of American thought processes. If we end up with 60 or 70% of their business doing our advertising on television, hell, we belong to Japan, lock, stock, and barrel.
Well, I don't have any paranoid fears about what's going to happen overseas, but I'm concerned enough with what's happening here. Now, again, there was this protest over the showing of the television movie Roe versus Wade. I'm concerned about all the television shows that won't be made because they're afraid of this controversy, with all the shows that are not getting on public television because they can't get a large corporation to back them, with all the people who are out there afraid of advertisers, not just for, you know, this supposed porn TV and some of these wild, funny shows like Mark is coming up with the silly stuff, but serious stuff about serious issues that are controversial, like gun control, which gets them crazy. And shows that talk in an open, interesting way about morality in this country.
And there haven't been any shows that wanted to talk about those things, all right, until you came along with this show and this audience, and we talked about very boring topics. And all of a sudden we had everyone teed off at us because they weren't topics you were supposed to talk about on television, and certainly no one was supposed to laugh at them. I want to hear what the audience has to say, because they have not been laughing. Starting with you, pal.
First of all, my name is John, and I don't know, I don't like these censorships, you know, telling me what I could watch and what I can't watch. Who are them to see what goes on TV? And, you know, first...
Okay, basically what I'm saying. Now, go ahead, young man.
Yeah, this is from Mother Teresa and the other church guy over there. People don't want to watch church things every day. They're allowed to watch whatever they want to watch. You people have no right to tell them what they can watch. Yeah. This is the only...
But you do. But you do.
What
and I
do
don't.
You want to see on
That's
TV?
What he's saying. He does, but I don't. That's
what do you want to see on TV?
I think these talk shows are fine. I think these talk shows are very educational, personally.
I'd go nuts if I had to watch this damn show all the time. What do you want to see on television, Liz?
Well, the actor mentioned film, and every year the PBS has repeated the Jimmy Stewart film at Christmas time. It seems to reflect...
Let's chip in $29.95 and get Liz that film. I like that film too. Right. When he goes off the bridge.
But they have an audience. They have an audience because the man's a responsible guy. He's the basic values that are there as far as the family is concerned.
Nobody cares what you want to see on TV.
But I wasn't the only one watching it. There were millions who were watching that, and they repeated it.
Liz, let this gentleman say
I like
something.
your boots, too. No, what I have to say is I'm kind of in agreement with both of you. I think the networks do have a responsibility to their audience is someone. I think they should kind of realize what they're sending out here. I mean, I think people my age really don't have to worry about, you know, it affecting us, but, you know, considering the younger audiences that are watching TV.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that what the networks, cable does is ineffective. I would say that it is effective, and it does affect people, and they are out for the young market.
Here's someone else you can write to, all right? Hey, gang, are you mad as hell, huh? Well, let the rest of the world hear about it on my TV show. Send me a 1/2-inch VHS cassette no longer than 90 seconds. If I think you got a gripe, on the tube it goes. And if you get yours on, some great gifts. Come on, pal. Now ain't the time to zip it. Here's the address.
Mustang GT.
Thunderbird Super Coupe.
Taurus SHO. Escort GT.
Probe GT. Who really builds excitement? Ford, with 5 Fords to put the thrill back into driving. Ford, America's performance car leader.
Have you driven these Fords lately?
Now get factory discounts over $1,300 on Thunderbird Super Coupe. Only at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Fantasy Line. It's a party line. It's cool. It's hot. It's today's new way of meeting people. Just pick up your phone anytime. Call 10-444-1700-FANTASY. There's always someone waiting to talk to you. Go ahead, make your day. Don't be shy. Talk. Listen. Make new friends. Call 10-444-1700-FANTASY. Meet new people on your terms. Just 95 cents a minute to call Fantasy, the 24-hour party line where fantasies do come true.
Attention, citizen. My directive number 3 prevents me from paying a lot for this muffler.
Don't worry.
At Meineke, you get quality Everlast mufflers from just $18.93 installed. Thank you for your cooperation. I did not pay a lot for this muffler. Have a nice day. You're not going to pay a lot for quality at Meineke.
A real breakfast doesn't come in a paper bag. A real breakfast isn't eaten with a plastic fork. A real breakfast is not served on a styrofoam plate. This is a real breakfast from the new Fast Break breakfast menu at International House of Pancakes. Real breakfast, real fast, at a really low price. The new IHOP Fast Break breakfast, because a real breakfast doesn't look like a hockey puck.
Get 8 great specials from $179.
Let's go to this young man here. Let me know when I have 1 minute, will you please? Because I want to say something. Go ahead, pal.
How's it going, Mort? If you feel as if MTV is porn, Married with Children is suggestive, and you get real upset about it, sell a TV and buy a book and read it.
Wait a minute. Let's say we've got the problem of cocaine. Why shouldn't we take the same position there? If someone wants to go smoke cocaine in his room,
where do you see cocaine
Why
being
should we care if he
snorted
wants
in
to do that?
these
Should we
music
care or
videos and
shouldn't we?
everything?
Yes or no?
Where do you see
should
cocaine?
we care or shouldn't
Where
we?
do you see cocaine being snorted in these videos and everything?
No. I'm not talking about cocaine being snorted in the videos.
Whereabouts?
No, wait a second. You're missing the point.
You're missing the point.
Yes,
quickly.
Yes, I like to say, I don't like that guy saying this is a garbage show. This is for a young people show. That's my opinion. I like this show, okay?
Okay. All right, well, thank you. Go ahead, sir.
I like to say that if I like a show, I don't think that Mother Liz or anyone else should have any say and use their influence in taking it off the air.
I do think, however, that Liz, Frank, the professor here, all have every right in the world to write into the advertiser, to write into the station, to write into me and say, Downey is a... Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, shut up. I think you're doing more harm than good for your kid because you're arousing the kid's suspicion by not letting them watch the TV or any good shows like that.
No, I think that there's harm that's being done by the programming that we now have. I think our standard is deteriorated, and I think it has been a double standard between over-the-air broadcast and the cable. In other words, over-the-air broadcast is now getting down to the low level the cable is at, whereas I think it should have been the reverse. And it's our elected representatives who are responsible for that. And we now have an FCC commission that is lacking.
You don't think your kid wants to go out and buy a Hustler magazine?
Do you really think it will change?
I would hope so. I would work for that because it's worth it. What we had was better. It was
What you had was better.
Nowadays, with the interest of the kids nowadays, look at this audience.
Yeah.
How old do you, majority of the age here, how old do you think these people are?
20s?
Yes, exactly, mid-20s.
Right.
Our interest is not in PTL on Sunday afternoon.
You're a very handsome crowd here. In 10 years,
Let me just take 10 seconds to wrap this up. I don't say boycott any of the advertisers you've met. The product is good. You should, of course, be able to enjoy it. You also should be able to enjoy what you want to watch on television. Let them know you expect them to honor that right, all right? Write to the names and the addresses we gave you. When you do, they'll know that your voice has to be heard. Kick it, Dad!
Sunday at 6:30, an abused child finds peace with parents from outer space on Monsters. Now a circus turns a bitter reporter into more than a believer on Tales from the Dark Side. Next on PHL 17.